Hey there, guys. Happy belated Thanksgiving. Did you guys eat well? Did you have a good time? Any fights with your MAGA supporting family? A little back and forth for Thanksgiving? Did you guys do something fun for Thanksgiving? Yeah? Okay. Welcome, guys. I'll play a brief intro and we can get into it.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Been swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed. Swallowed up. Swallowed. Been swallowed up. Swallowed.
Cool. I just can't resist singing along. I haven't heard that in a while. So, guys, I had an interesting Thanksgiving, and this is a light stream. We will be doing a review tomorrow if you guys saw it. I don't know if it posted on the channel actually, but we watched Wicked. Me and some of the Discord people decided it's time. It's time. So we watched Wicked, and I have thoughts. I have thoughts about Wicked that we need to discuss urgently. But before we discuss those thoughts, I think it's important that we frame the video. Welcome, everyone, by the way. Welcome, Chrissy, and Janice, and Emma Dragon, Tasha, and RL. I also love the intro. So let's go ahead and frame the conversation today with something that I'm sure you guys are familiar with. I feel like everybody has seen this clip, but we about to see it again.
Turkey, ladies and gentlemen, dark meat, fattier, juicier. I love that dark meat.
I know you
That's
do.
why I went right. I went right after it with that leg yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, there was no thought about getting a knife and getting those breasts with the white meat. It was all about that leg.
You prefer the dark meat as well?
I have always preferred dark meat, but if things don't work out this Thanksgiving, I think I'm going to switch and start going after the white meat exclusively. And I mean that sincerely.
Put a little gravy on it. It'll be fine.
Right. Yeah, you
got enough
have to
gravy.
be able to work with it. You just got to, I think I can work with the white meat. I do. You can trust the white meat.
It's pretty good. It's a little dry.
It's consistent. It's
So you got to
reliable.
put some gravy on it.
It's always
A little
the same.
dry.
A little dry, but consistent and reliable. What he said? He said you put a
pretty
little
good.
what on it?
It's a little dry.
It's consistent. It's
So you got to
reliable.
put some gravy on
It's
it.
always
A
the
little
same.
dry, but we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm switching over.
He said put a little gravy on it. Let me play it again because y'all didn't hear him. He said put a little gravy on it.
It's time to
It's all types of
talk
fraternization violation in this video. What's the gravy? What does he mean when he say just put a little gravy on the white meat and it'll be fine? Go to TikTok and look up the black wife effect. That's what he means. That's what they mean when they say put a little gravy on the white meat and it'll be fine.
It's time to talk turkey, ladies and gentlemen. Dark meat, fattier, juicier. I love that dark meat.
I know you
That's
do.
why I went right. I went right after it with that
Yeah,
leg
you did.
yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, there was no thought about getting a knife and getting those breasts with the white meat. It was all about that leg.
You prefer the dark meat as well?
I have always preferred dark meat, but if things don't work out this Thanksgiving, I think I'm going to switch and start going after the white meat.
The people were saying that she was talking to someone at home. She was talking very intentionally towards someone at home. They said she looked at the camera. She said, I'm speaking to you. Hold up, let me see.
This Thanksgiving, I think I'm going to switch and start going after the white meat exclusively. And I mean that sincerely.
Pour a little gravy on it. It'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah, you
got enough
have to
gravy.
be able to work with it. You just got to, I think I can work with the white meat. I do. You can trust the white meat.
It's a pretty
I ain't gonna lie, guys. I think they fucking. It ain't no way. It ain't no. Because look, I work in a workplace. We all do. I know exactly how these people talk to each other in the workplace and what they be doing. And they don't be trying to hide it at all. At all.
good. It's a little dry.
It's consistent. It's
So you gotta
reliable.
put some gravy on
It's
it.
always
A little
the same.
dry, but we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm switching
Yeah.
over.
Wait, did they come? Do they have an update? Let me see. Let me see. Somebody said they looking for the update. Don't worry, I'll look for it for you. I'll look for it for you. No, I went to the original video from the news, and the comments are this man said, as a single black man, she stared deep into my soul. I think we just lost another one, a good one too. They say you can trust the white meat. I prefer ham. I don't know what that means. Anywho, I'm looking for the update. That's what I'm looking. So that's on Fox 2 Detroit. I don't watch Fox News. So I have to go and find out. That's what I have to do. Where is she? Ordered garlic sauce but got mayo instead. Don't nobody care about this. Fox News cannot be a real news station. They can't be. Nope, nothing. Well, I don't see her on here anymore, so I'm no longer interested in Fox News. So anyway, welcome guys. Hopefully that intro got you guys workplace flirty banter. No, they're past flirting, I believe. At the point where he talked about, yeah, I had to I like that dark meat. I like them legs. You saw how I grabbed them legs yesterday, and she was like, "You sure did." Y'all did not hear. Hold up. Y'all talk about flirt. This is not flirting. There is something going on. Hold up.
Ladies and gentlemen, dark meat, fattier, juicier. I love that dark meat.
I know you
That's
do.
why I went right.
I know you do. Nah, they are not flirting. They didn't already pass flirting. What are y'all talking? This is a whole HR meeting. Talk about. Let's talk about fraternizing in the workplace, guys. Nah. Anywho, welcome. And to Cut and C Miles. I see you guys just hopped in. So, I'm just giving thanks today. I would like to thank you all for your presence in my life and making this somber existence bearable. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. To Black women in particular, the exit polls have returned and we see exactly how you voted. Thank you once again. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see if I Google thank you, Black women, something needs to pop up. Let me see. Trevor Noah. Oh, this guy. Ew. I remember I just talked about him with my friend.
Okay, I haven't been on.
So my friend and I, quickly before we look at this is not on the agenda, by the way, but we're gonna look at it anyway. So this man, if you know his face, then you probably already know what he's about to say. But me and my friend yesterday, she was a Black woman, and we were discussing something that happened to her. That she talked about. She saw a just regular, average Black woman, unambiguously Black, dark-skinned woman. And the woman was being hit on by this white man, and she described him as conventionally attractive. She was very descriptive. I won't be as descriptive as she was, but she defined him as conventionally attractive. And she said she felt something when that black woman was getting attention from a conventionally attractive white man. And she was wondering if it was wrong of her to feel good about that. And I won't go through our entire discussion, but I think the conversation went down the path of feeling like black women have not gotten something that they deserve. Like historically or in modern time, I don't think black women have gotten what they deserve insofar as their experience, right? Their existence. It's Giving Thanks is a banger, by the way. I completely forgot I named the stream that, but that's an absolute banger. So the idea of seeing a black woman appreciated and praised and adored and loved is something that I don't see often. So I could relate to how she felt. And I think we talked about also just like how black women are portrayed in dating shows, for example. And it's a whole discography on YouTube about not the black wife effect over here in the recommended video. If y'all want to know what put a little gravy on it is the black wife effect, go look that up. But anywho, we were talking about dating shows, and there's a whole discography on YouTube around black women like being absolutely drugged on these dating shows, not really given a lot of love, and like being dragged through the mud pretty much on like every dating show that we could think of. Aside from, she said there's one couple on Love is Blind, but I don't watch it. But she was like, there's this one white guy and black woman, and they were okay. But other than that, no, it is few and far in between. So just seeing examples of that, she felt was, I don't know, like a sigh of relief. Is it a signal of times changing? I don't know. I like to think so, but I also like to think that Vice President Harris was going to win the election, and that did not come true. So, you know, let's not knock on wood. I'll say that. So while we were discussing black women's lack of praise, and then her friend, or I don't even know if she was her friend, but average black girl, unambiguously black, dark skin, getting attention from the conventionally attractive white guy in the gym. We also discussed the reason we were discussing whether or not it was bad was because of the idea of seeking white validation from white people who, if you are looking for black women to be desired and sought after by conventionally attractive people, and you're in America or any other country or continent that I can think of, the beauty standard tends to be white. So if you are feeling like black women are not getting attention and you want them to get attention from that demographic of conventionally attractive people, then that demographic is going to be white people. And we didn't know how to feel about that. But what we did know is that there were examples of, we were trying to distinguish between what we felt was okay, off of vibes, what type of praise is okay. And the sort of praise that we were discussing was something like, you look very nice today, or remember the billionaire, before all the controversy came out about that, remember the billionaire guy was like, who presumably didn't say it after the fact, but was apparently like, oh, billionaires and rich, wealthy men love black women because black women are intelligent, black women are good with money, black women are beautiful and they're loyal and blah, 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 blah. We were feeling praise like that. We were liking praise like that. What we weren't liking was praise like, black women, I know if I'm in public and I see a black woman, I rest because I know she's about to come over and be strong and virtuous and just independent, and she's going to save everyone, and like a whole, I don't know, magical Negro or something. She's about to come over here and fix all my problems. And we briefly discussed this guy because my friend brought him up. So now we had to talk about him. And now he just popped up in my feed, so we're going to watch him just a little bit.
On TikTok for a bit, and I noticed everyone was tagging me in that whole Andrew Schultz thing.
I've never watched this. I didn't know he was British. I was not expecting to be Britished. right now. Oi, mate. Well, no, I don't think that's their accent. My apologies. Um, Welcome though, everybody. Invincible, Tasha, the other MJ. I need my job. I had a prior coworker flirting with me like that, but we were never intimate. I kept those boundaries. Like, what boundaries? If y'all were flirting, like, hold up. So let me, because when you say I kept my boundaries up, so you're saying what was happening was this right here.
Time to talk turkey, ladies and gentlemen. Dark meat, fattier, juicier. I love that dark meat.
I know you
That's
do.
why I went right. I went right after it with that
Yeah,
leg
you
yesterday.
did. Yeah, you did.
I mean, there was no thought about getting a knife and getting those breasts with the white meat. It was all about that leg.
You prefer the dark meat as well?
I have always preferred dark meat, but if things don't work out this Thanksgiving, I think I'm going to switch and start going after the white meat exclusively. And I mean that sincerely.
Put a little gravy on it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
She said her boyfriend watched the news and she wanted to make a statement. So you saying y'all were flirting like this? Because this is the video I showed. Y'all were flirting like this, but were never intimate and you kept those boundaries up. I need to know what those boundaries are if this is what y'all doing in the workplace. Because I feel like I'm interrupting something right now. Like I feel like I'm not even supposed to be watching this. And yet here it is on live TV.
You have to be able to work with it. You just got to, I think I can work with the white meat. I do. You can trust the white meat.
It's pretty good. It's a little dry.
It's consistent. It's
So you got to
reliable.
put some gravy on
It's
it.
always
A little
the same.
dry, but we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm switching over.
Y'all, that was a whole newscast. Out of pocket. Out of pocket. I see you, Tasha. I won't put that on screen, but I see you. Welcome. Welcome, Dita and Alicia and Bratstall. So, back to the less satisfying topic.
Okay, I haven't been on TikTok for a bit, and I noticed everyone was tagging me in that whole Andrew Schultz thing about black women. I'll make a different comment about Andrew Schultz and that little rat Akash thing, but I want to say something about black women. And this was my mother, and I God is my witness right now. May the Lord strike me down if I'm lying. My mother told me and my siblings when we were young kids, before I remember it was when my older brother started secondary school. It was a big deal, my older brother going off to the big boy school. And my mum sat us down. She said, if you're ever in trouble out there in the real world, look for a black woman. My mum said this. My mum was raised in this country from the age of 6, the UK. She said, look for a black woman. She said, anywhere in the world, a black woman will help you. She was never wrong. But it's incredible that my mother said that, and I don't know what my mum went through. But I remember seeing photos of my mum in school when she was in high school and stuff, and she had loads of black friends and stuff, and they were all black women. Because my mum wasn't a pick me, she only had female friends. And so she obviously felt some protection. And growing up for me, I noticed in my school, it was a very predominantly white school. The black teachers looked out for me. I had a black Jamaican teacher called Mrs. Forrester. She looked out for me. But even outside of school, when I started growing out my hair, it was a black woman that taught me how to look after my curls, what products to use. It's black women that built me up on this platform and got me to where I am. I have to give credit to where credit is due. It was women in general, but black women specifically who boosted me and told me how pretty I was and how great I was. But I am trying to make a point here, and it's that black women get treated the worst. The worst. Malcolm X said this. He goes, unfortunately, they are treated the worst. By the medical field, by the education field, by the police, by everything. Yet they're the ones that give the most love. And for I saw what he said in that post, Andrew Schultz, and
Let's pause. So me and my friend, you may not have, by the way, and you don't have to, but me and my friend found this very off-putting. Apparently, a lot of the internet did. I only saw a clip. I've never actually watched the video, so this is my first time watching it in its entirety. But we found this very off-putting. Mind you, this was during a conversation about my friend talking about feeling validated by other communities, looking at and appreciating black women, finally, after all of history, right? it was something about this type of validation, and I don't know what it is exactly. I have to go off of vibes, and maybe I'm just getting a, what's the word? Y'all know when I forgot what it is. Um, I forgot what it's called exactly, but y'all know when you ask someone to name their favorite thing about you and they start listing like things that you do for them, not necessarily your qualities or your characteristics or anything like that. Like they're not like, oh, I think you have lovely eyelashes or eyebrows. Mm, wow. Lovely earrings, nice hat. Sorry, I'm just saying some stuff that I didn't hear today from the comments is all. But they don't say stuff like, I think that you're an endearing friend, I think that you're charming, whimsical, and all that. No, instead they're like, man, I love how if I ever need something, I can always count on you. If I need a ride to work or if I need to go and take the trash out, I can always ask you and you'll take it out for me. Or whenever I need some money, you're always there to give me some money whenever I need it. I've never had to even go without because you'll do it for me. You'll struggle and you'll suffer as long as you can give me the last bit of your money just for my comfort. And I really appreciate that about you. I really do. I really do. And that's like interesting because these are only like me working and laboring for you. And something about that feels off putting. I feel like this video could have been very different, very different. But it wasn't. Do we need to watch the rest? I feel like we don't. Is that fair? Well, what do the comments say? First to be disrespected and the first to be relied on. Well, I'm Asian but grew up in a black neighborhood in Philly and we were welcomed and cared for, especially by black women. That's why my friends and I say trust black women, period. Oh, and always remember to season your food. So I don't think his message was, I don't think he intended for his message to be negative, by the way. And he's even getting positive reception. It was just something about it that was off putting to me and my friend in TikTok at some point, but it's been a while now. So that being said, I'm going to briefly discuss something and I'll post the link because you guys hopefully will come up and tell me what you're thankful for this Thanksgiving, but you don't have to. While you do that, I want to discuss a mating crisis because a mating crisis. I don't know why this popped up on my TikTok feed last night, but they decided I needed to know. They decided I needed to know this. TikTok decided this is what I need to see.
There are
Oh no, I can't speed the video up. We'll have to watch all of it.
increasingly like large number of women who are just choosing not to get married and are choosing to stay single. There's a mating crisis going on, and that women who are becoming increasingly college educated and getting access to resources of their own, that they do continue to exhibit an increased preference for partners with resources. Women are what we call hypergamous, right? Which means that we like to mate up in terms of achievement and educational attainment. And when you have a populace like we do in the US of women who are now on average more educated than men, it makes it more difficult to find a suitable partner. If you're a woman with an advanced degree and you want somebody who has at least as much education for you, that's going to lead to a more narrow pool of mates. And in fact, what we see is that there are an increasingly like large number of women who are just choosing not to get married and are choosing to stay single. And in fact, there's a wonderful book called All the Single Ladies that is about this very phenomenon. And Women are increasingly choosing to opt out of long-term mating if they're not able
They got Beyonce. I wrote this amazing book called All the Single Ladies. She didn't write it. There's this amazing book called All the Single Ladies. Lovely book, lovely book. Brought to you by the inventor of sticky bangs.
to find the relationship that they want.
So I have no comments on this currently. I feel like we've talked about this before, and we've already looked into research regarding people having less sex in relationships today. Tends to fare differently for men and women. So my question is, what is a mating crisis? Let me Google. Maybe if I Google it, I'll get a better idea. Give me 1 second. I Googled it, it brought up Reddit. So you already know this ain't real. Reddit. Okay. Are there any legitimate things regarding mating crisis anywhere? Nope. The crisis is apparently women are okay with being single as opposed to like dating down. So that is the mating crisis. I'm sorry if my presentation of it seems lackluster, but it is. It is just a lackluster topic. I'm not sure why crisis is the word that they use. And I'm not sure if this is just like me nitpicking or something, right? Or if I'm just hyper fixated on it, or if it's just a pet peeve. I'm not sure. But I remember like what comes to mind is the male loneliness epidemic. And I'm just mating crisis, loneliness epidemic. And the way that we describe men as a collective and issues that they have feels dramatic. I feel like never mind. Maybe it's me who's the problem. Maybe I'm too nitpicky, right? And I'm actually not holding space for the mating crisis in the loneliness epidemic. So I do apologize to people who may be affected by that and struggling. The last thing I would like to discuss, and then I'll briefly talk about Wicked, which we will discuss further tomorrow. But the last thing I would like to discuss is some controversy that I've seen regarding apparently Shera7, Princella, and Trophy Wife are all. Hold up. Where is. I'm trying not to comment on Trophy Wife too much because I have thoughts that I need more information to confirm, and I wouldn't like to say anything prior to finding out those details, so as not to discourage people from speaking up if they experience something like that. No Wicked tonight, Wicked tomorrow. So Shera7 and Princella did not have a back and forth. Here, let me just pull up what I saw and we can watch it together.
Never seen
Loaded video, y'all. Okay.
Why? Why?
There are an increase.
Why TikTok doing that though?
I have never
So I think this is what I first watched. I'm not sure, but I don't think Shera responded to this. So we'll watch this first.
seen me make any videos about Shera7. None. Even though people keep asking me, I keep turning it down to commentary, and the only thing that I actually say when somebody asks me is I think her message is dangerous because women don't know what they're doing, and Shera's talking to a bunch of women that don't know nothing. And Shera's not teaching women about men. I ultimately say that her message is dangerous for women.
No, this is not what I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch, there was a fan of Princella, and this fan made a video, and the fan was like, oh my God, Princella and blah, blah, blah. And I just discovered Shera7, and she's literally an evolved Princella. And then Princella released this, and the fan, like a day later, changed their mind. That's what I want to look at, if I can find it in time. I found this confusing because Shera7 and Princella, I feel like, are two sides of the same coin or two wings of the same bird or something. I feel like generally they teach women probably similar things about men, regarding male nature and blah, blah, blah. And the difference is Princella does not want you to mess with them. Shera7 say, if you mess with them, do this. I don't watch either of them, nor do I know their message holistically. That's what I get from them. That may be incorrect. That may be incorrect. My TikTok's not working like it's supposed to be right now. Right now. Oh my goodness. I saw a great video on reverse racism recently too. I think that would be great to talk about. Not talking about Sky Jackson today. Not talking about Flo Milli, Holly Bailey. Nope. Pushing it to the back of my mind. I refuse. I refuse. Where is it? Maybe she deleted it. I would too. Well, the point is, since I can't find it, there seems to be I'm not sure what's going on, but there seems to be like a beef between several content creators. Not like a beef like they're fighting, but like, I wouldn't say disparaging. What word would I use? I feel like they kind of talking shit. I don't know how to say that more professionally. Ooh, is this it? Hmm. Oh, there's just a girl. Ew. No, I can't find it. I really wish I could because I can't remember exactly what she said. But there is such a back and forth, and I really don't understand it because I feel like generally they give pretty much the same type of stuff. They pretty much give the same type of stuff. I've only seen them through TikTok clips. That's all I know. The only difference, I think, is their delivery is different because Princella wants to be a black pastor. I don't know why, but she talks like, y'all know how Dr. Umar talk. Other than that, I feel like they're quite similar. So I don't understand. Nope. It just disappeared. It's in the ether. The reason Trophy Wife was involved in this is because she apparently took Shera7 advice, which she says was to get married after 1 week of knowing a man and involving him with her children. Um, and I think being involved with his. And I've never seen that on Shera7. I don't watch, so I can't attest to what the full context is on all of her live streaming videos. But I don't think that's her message. So I'm having a deep misunderstanding. about the Princella, Shera7, and Trophy Wife lapping together. I think Princella, by the way, made the video that we watched earlier because of the Trophy Wife situation and because of Trophy Wife saying something like, "Oh, I watched Shera7 and that's how I met him, by taking her advice." And I am hoping that people are not watching a 3-second Shera7 TikTok clip and then going to do something. That Shera said. I hope y'all don't see a 3-second clip of Shera saying wear a red dress to the bar and find a rich man, and you just stop the video and you just go out and make a whole lifestyle based on like 3 or 4 words. I hope people aren't doing that, but apparently some people might be. Shera7 says she don't own that. She ain't say that. She was like, go point out where I said that. And I'm not sure why. I also discussed this with my friend, but it feels like content creators like Shera7. There were others, I think maybe Drew, and someone else who I can't quite recall. But it feels like Black women content creators specifically who are discussing, what would you call it? Black women level up content, or I don't know if it's like Black women in luxury adjacent, but it feels like whenever there's content targeted towards Black women regarding improving your lifestyle or improving your dating standard or anything like that, it feels like there is a really, really strong pushback. Like after the Trophy Wife stuff came out, I feel like there was video after video on TikTok with people like, I told y'all about Shera7. This is why y'all shouldn't be looking for a rich man. See, rich men do it too. And I feel like whenever something like this happens, there's like a really, really strong push for some reason where people try to convince you that actually you should be dating broke men. And there is like no distinguishable difference between broke, rich, middle class, wealthy, poor, or anything like that. And anybody trying to show you content saying that you should actually like date someone on or above your level is like bad advice, because they can do it too. And I'm not sure why that strong pushback is always luring around the corner, just waiting for something to happen. But it's there, and that seems unsettling to me. My neighbor just yelled, "Oh yeah." I don't know what's going on over there, but maybe he's found his dark meat. Maybe he has found his dark meat. Okay, so I was going to discuss Wicked, but there was one more thing. These are all things, by the way, that I feel like were not deserving of a separate individual live stream, because I didn't think they had a lot of substance, at least not to the degree that I've researched them or care to. But one thing that I did look into quite a lot actually was, have you guys heard of SlimKim? Okay. No responses. Nothing. Going once, going twice. Sold. So to briefly, no, let me not recap here. Let's let her tell it. I'm gonna let her tell it. I might have her blocked. And I was confused why, but then I looked up some stuff, and I think she's in the past said like she don't like her dark skin or something. I won't put that on her though, because I can't remember why I blocked her exactly. Is this it? Wait, is this the? Have I actually not watched the original video? Have I only seen? Oh, this is someone else's. I was so confused. Okay, you guys have probably seen it already, but yeah. Well, I won't put it on her.
Favorite thing to be is skinny. And I fear you cannot say that out loud, but it is my favorite thing to be, and it is my
Wait, that's not hers. Let's watch her original.
favorite thing to be is skinny.
Why can I no longer speed up TikTok video? Oh, they changed the position. I don't like when things change.
And I fear you cannot say that out loud, but it is my favorite thing to be, and it is my favorite fear to not be. And this is just for me personally. This is all personal to me. But I just wanted to say it out loud because honestly, it's all I think about. It's just all I think about. Okay.
Her favorite thing to be is skinny. She fears that she cannot say this out loud.
Favorite thing to be is skinny.
Let's see what the people are saying.
And I fear you cannot say that out loud, but it is my favorite thing to be, and it is my favorite fear to not be.
Y'all, she is not playing. Her name is SlimKim. Like, she lives by the skinny life. She is head of Skinny Gang, okay? Now, I've never had that story. I've never been skinny. I never really wanted to be skinny. Probably when I was younger, not knowing that I really actually prefer to be fit, not skinny. But honey, when it comes to being fit, I completely have that same mindset. I don't want to be nothing but fit. I want to be able to wear what I want to wear. I want to be comfortable and able to move and jump and run when I need to. I don't want to be sweating for nothing because I have rolls and my under my rolls are sweating. I just know how it feels when I'm in my bag and I'm fit, honey, and I feel like the world revolves around me. I get it. So if being skinny does that for you, baby, more power to you. I don't think you should feel any type of way if you're not skinny. Find what makes you happy and be real with yourself, okay? Being fit is that for me.
My favorite thing to be is skinny.
Let's watch one more and we can be done with it. Alt-right pipeline. SlimKim? What?
Collective outcry on this app.
Oh, I've watched it. I don't remember this. Let's get it.
When SlimKim came out and said what most fat people know that many skinny people think is just indicative that we are not mentally prepared for the shift of conservatism that is happening in this country. The rise in body fascism, the narrowing down of what is seen as beautiful or what is seen as an acceptable way to look has been happening for some time now. If I'm being real, it started with the deer versus doe eyes versus siren eyes versus dark feminine versus all of that. It's a pipeline. Do you have cat face or deer face turned into let's turn our faces to the side and analyze the slopes of our noses like fucking eugenicists? And I think that because we are so used to seeing the alt-right pipeline as a market.
Invincible, my thoughts were that being skinny or liking being skinny, I don't necessarily have a problem with. But when she specifically said, I forgot what she said. She said something like, it is my fear not to be skinny. I am so scared that I wouldn't be skinny. Which speaks to me about a personal insecurity in my mind. I can't speak to that for her. But I don't think that's something that's good to spread if that's the case.
Marketed towards men, it's more difficult to recognize and understand when it's being marketed towards us in beauty spaces. It is not a coincidence that all of a sudden skinny people are coming out and declaring that they love being skinny. It is not a coincidence that brands that formerly claimed to care about diversity or whatever are rolling back on their darker skin tone. People are now openly saying the R slur on social media again like it's normal. All of a sudden it's become accepted to declare on this app that you don't care about Palestinian people and their genocide. As we scroll and consume and even participate in social media, we need to be engaging in critical thought. Media literacy is dead. Can we revive it, please?
It is dead. I don't know if we're going to revive it in the next 4 years. Let me see. We could do one more.
No shade, but I know exactly what SlimKim meant. This is coming from somebody who's been skinny their whole life, been bullied for being skinny, 100 pounds soaking wet their whole life, and tried everything in the book to gain weight. I'm talking about I used to force myself.
Indica, it sounds like you have a disagreement, which means you can definitely hit that link and come up.
To drink 3 Ensures a day until I threw up. I tried a pediment, whatever you want to call it. All the weight gain masses, the putting peanut butter in my smoothies, everything in the book, and I still can't gain weight, and I'm cool with it.
Oh no.
No shade, but I know he's plus size girly came up here and said the same thing, that I love being plus size. I love my size and I wouldn't want to wish to be anything smaller than what I am. Y'all would have all been gassing her up. Nobody would have been clocking her tea. But for some reason, anytime a skinny girl wants to love herself, y'all make it.
Let's pause. I wanted to watch a couple different takes. By the way, I'm not saying I agree with or disagree with any of these takes. I just clicked the most popular ones that popped up. So let's pause, because Indica said this woman said this, and some other creators said this as well. And I feel like skinny people want to be oppressed so bad, like really bad, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. And the examples that people are giving don't make sense, because if a thick girl does post on TikTok and say, I'm thick, there definitely are some videos where people are like, post this on Instagram Reels so they can tear you up. I'm not sure why there's like oh my God, you can be fat and come up and say, I love being fat, and everyone will praise you. But if you do it while skinny, then you'll get all the hate. That is definitely not true. That is definitely not true. There is too much research around what is preferred on social media and what is uplifted and what is not, for us to even entertain the idea of that being true. The first thing people go, I'm just concerned about your health. Is this something, are skinny people every day in unrelated conversations, you need to lose weight, I'm just concerned about you, that's all, I'm just saying it's unhealthy and you're promoting an unhealthy lifestyle? I'm talking about like under any video that you see a fat person makes, like they could be talking about, hey guys, this a new bracelet I found at the mall, I think it looks nice, like something completely unrelated to weight, all under the comments, why are you promoting this unhealthy lifestyle? I'm just concerned is all. I'm not making fun of your body. I'm just saying you shouldn't be promoting obesity. And if, God forbid, a fat person like have food in a video, I'm just saying maybe you should put on the fork. I just care about you and don't want you to be dead 20 years early. And I'm seeing all types of comments like that under fat people posts. So I don't know why we're pretending like fat people just come on this app, any app, anywhere, and talk about, hey, I'm proud of my body. And people just go under and, yes, girl, yes. Yes. That does not exist. Go and ask some people who used to be fat, or go and ask some people who used to be skinny. There's a reason SlimKim came up here and said, I'm so deathly afraid of not being skinny. We already know how fat people are treated. Stop playing with me. Indica, the link is pinned, I think. That's all. I think that's all anybody is saying. Skinny people are not oppressed, and we are not sure why skinny people want to be oppressed so bad. That is all. Have you ever heard of someone being denied a job because they are too skinny? Because there is research out there showing that fat people are less likely to be hired after an interview, have to work harder for promotions and pay raises. This is especially true for women in particular, where beauty standards tend to be harsher. Not as true for men, but for women, oh, definitely. Still true for men, just not as true. Not as correlated, right? Have you ever heard of a skinny person being discriminated against by the medical system? Because there is research showing that fat people are treated worse in healthcare and receive poorer quality of care. That is not something skinny people face generally. Are skinny people systemically perceived as lazy? Are they systemically perceived as lacking willpower and moral character and having bad hygiene or a low level of intelligence or unattractiveness, because fat people are. So I'm just not sure why skinny people want to feel oppressed so bad. And I think the examples that people use are very telling, because I'm asking about like these examples of oppression that skinny people are facing, and nobody cares about skinny people experiencing it. And it feels like reverse racism when they describe it. Like, my friend said I look like a twig, but if I told a fat woman what she looked like, a log, then I would be. And my friend said men only want curvy women. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I actually don't. How could black people get a whole month? But if white people wanted a white history month, y'all would say we. I don't care. That's all. It's not about being oppressed, but acknowledging our community. Fat is sexy. I'm trying to see where they say that at. Where they say fat is sexy. Where? You talk about curvy, thick. Is that what you? Let me show you some. Let me show you some. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. You are correct. I actually did not consider this. Thick, right? In the black community, having a different. Got it. Got it. Got it. So, this is something that I have heard also, right? In the black community, they like thick women. And it may not be in other communities, but in the black community specifically, they like curvy bodies. And so skinny people in the black community are actually discriminated against, and the curvy bodies are. Nope. Nope. Even in the black community. Let me show you what people mean actually when they say plus size. Let me show you some plus size. Let me show you some plus size. Let me show you some plus size. When people say plus size, I think what they're talking about is your breast and your butt can be big, your waist better be snatched. When they say I like thick women, I don't think they're talking about spears. I think they're talking about hourglasses. I think they're talking about hourglasses. I think they're talking about curvy hips and breast. And that has nothing to do with body shape, in my opinion, and everything to do with sexualizing women generally. Because I promise you, on that skinny woman, they looking for the letter P. Y'all remember when people were shaped like the letter P? Y'all remember that? When people was getting them breast implants and they was just a stick up, just straight up and with a bump. Y'all know what I'm talking about? No? Y'all don't remember? Let me show you something. Y'all don't remember the letter Peabody. Y'all don't remember the letter Peabody. Girl, what is what is what is this? Now, why would y'all, when I tell you it's just people making the letter P with a body, what do they call it then? If they don't call it the letter P body, what do they call it? The Peabody, I don't believe is a white girl thing. I do believe it's a surgery that generally white women got, if that's what you're saying. But I think when people want someone skinny, they are okay with making exceptions for the ass and breast specifically, because those are the parts of a woman that they can easily say. Why did I not remember Wendy Williams? Now, why would they put this picture up too late when I was looking for P? Who is Pam Anderson? I'm about to Google. Lord, what I'm doing to my search history today. White women don't age like black women. I'll just say that. I won't say anything rude. We don't have to look at Pam. We don't have to look at Pam. It's okay. Here's Pam, actually. These ones look okay. Yeah, these ones look okay. So let's go back to Wendy. Wendy, when we say black women age well, I actually do think Wendy aged well. I won't make fun of her appearance. I think we've suffered enough at the election. But when people say thick and when people say in the black community there's a different standard and big bodies are love, I don't think people are talking about big bodies, actually. I think they're talking about women with big breast and big butt, but a slim waist. And if your waist is not snatched, then I don't think they like those bodies. When men say, "Oh, I like someone with some meat on their bones. I need a black woman with some meat on her bones," I don't think they're talking about a round woman. I don't. I think they're talking about a very specific body shape. And that body shape requires snatched in the middle. It's still based around skinniness. That's all. I just don't like skinny people wanting to be oppressed. That's all. Well, you can bring up BBW, and I'm gonna bring up how many states top searched pornography was teenager and bodies that look prepubescent. If y'all want to talk about certain fetishes that people have, if that's what you're saying, some people like specific things, absolutely. But I'm not about to pretend like the standard is BBW. I'm not. I'm not about to pretend. I am not about to pretend like there wasn't a hole when I was going to school. If you were dating a fat girl, you have to talk about all sorts of qualities and stuff like that. Or these women are just to use and they're not worthy of a relationship. And I'm not about to sit here and speak like being fat wasn't a whole level of discrimination. And skinny people talk. When I was 13, my mom told me I need to eat something. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Oh, you know what they bring up? Y'all remember Monique special when she was like, I hate skinny bitches. I can't stand skinny bitch. Y'all remember that special that Monique made 25 years ago in 1998 or whenever? They gonna bring up that special. Monique said she hates skinny, but if I said I hate fat, then they would be eating me up. They got to go all the way back to 1985 to find something, which tells you something about just how much people say that in the media that they don't like skinny people. Exactly. No one can name a Monique joke. It's almost as if making fun of skinny people and discriminating against skinny people isn't really profitable or done a lot. You know what is profitable and done a lot? I know a man who got rich off of what's your dress size. I know a whole man who's 6 feet under right now because he was buried under one of them big women he say he don't like. And I'm using the term big loosely because she was what? Snatched in the middle, because the standard is what? Even for big women, skinny. research out there showing that fat people are being graded harshly by their teeth. It's all types of research. You can go and look at who's being discriminated in a meaningful way. I don't know what to tell y'all. If the my bad. This happened with this happened with Jamal too. I be putting the wrong link. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Talking all this shit. So sorry. So sorry. I do apologize. I was like, that's what happens. They always scared to come up. They just want to talk shit in the comments. I put the wrong link. I'm sorry. That's the right link. My apologies. I'm short on time, but you can come yell at me and I'll take it. There's really teachers out here saying the paper was good, but I don't think you deserve the grade at that body size. You need to work harder. And that ain't me just making some shit up. Y'all could better go Google. Y'all better go Google. Yeah, I want you to show me some black men talk about Lizzo in any meaningful numbers. I don't even know why I didn't mention Lizzo, actually. Beyonce, Rihanna. I'm thinking about these. What y'all remember what Beyonce used to hold up? What year was it? Was it like 2002? What's the beauty standard in the black community? Thick women, just like look at this thick. Hold up, y'all don't see this woman. Hold up. Now look at this thick woman. Where Rihanna at? Let me go find Rihanna. Yes. We like some meat on their bones here in the black community, don't we? Yes, we do. Yes, we love thick women. Y'all got to see the skinny women. When y'all see them letter P bodies, if I could find one, I don't know what to Google. I don't know what to Google to pull it up. But if I could find you, I'm talking about these people were throwing up to be in the music videos. I think people forget body positivity is this like 2020, y'all. this like 4 years, and it's about to go in the opposite direction. I'm guessing based on our circumstances currently. Based on our circumstances, yes. Indica, you were saying that we like some thick women in the black community, and I'm like, yes. Look at these. Where Rihanna at?
Now, you know you're showing Beyonce before surgery, right?
This before surgery?
Yeah, that was before surgery.
What did she do?
She
What
had a
did she
BBL.
do?
She got her
Huh?
hips done, which is, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but she definitely got her body done to look bigger.
You
Nicki
notice they
Minaj
got
got her body done to look bigger.
the
You know, like,
BBL where they suck the fat out of your stomach and put it in your butt.
depending on if you have enough fat in your stomach. If not, they'll do, like I said, they'll do some transfers, and they usually do a tummy tuck to goes with them.
That
But
sounds.
nobody's getting those to get skinny, right? Everybody's getting BBLs to be thicker, to be
Yeah,
bigger, to be larger.
the standard is still skinny. Now
For
it's
who?
just we want breast and we want ass.
But that's not skinny.
I want you to show me a. So what is skinny?
Skinny is when, no, she was skinny then. She
So
ain't skinny now.
this ain't
Before
skinny.
any type of surgery or any of that stuff. I'm talking about, like, you know, the one comedian girl, the two chicks, I don't know their name. They be on, uh, they both
City
had a baby,
girls.
and she's skinny as I don't know what. Her little butt was flat. Her chest was flat.
City girls.
I don't know these people's names. I don't know people's names at my job.
So can you be skinny and have a big butt?
I'm talking about butt, small breast, skinny. Those are the ones I'm talking about. That they both evenly small breasts, small butt. In our community, nobody's saying, "Oh my gosh, that is the goal body. That is the body that I want to have."
Yeah, but you're speaking about breast and butt and not like your body, which I'm thinking about holistically, which usually I'm going to be looking at the waist if I'm deciding what skinny, fat, or whatever is.
Well, yeah,
I think people will
Megan
go
the
by dress
Stallion.
size. Hmm?
Megan the Stallion would be somebody I would say would be that, because she's physically fit. She exercises. She works out to make sure that her body stays that contour shape. But when was the last time you saw somebody with a flat, small butt, normal small butt, and a small body, small breasts, and women in the community are like, yes, that is goals. That's the body I want. That's what I want to look like.
You're asking for women's beauty standard for other women
No,
specifically?
just even, well, Black women's beauty standards, whatever Black men say they want to have at this moment. And right now, at this moment, is BBL bodies, thickness, snatched up waist. Megan is beautiful, though. Can we just pause for just a moment? Because Megan is beautiful.
Oh, I said, look, I got a whole bunch of like, just pull up that picture. It just brought up everything.
Hmm.
Everything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can continue.
Oh. But yeah, I mean, to me, if you love who you are, no matter what size you are, people shouldn't have permission to talk down upon it. If you love being big, nobody should talk about you being big. If you love being small, nobody should talk about you being small. It shouldn't be to me, like you said, a misery competition. Are people who are bigger treated differently? Absolutely. Absolutely. But
No,
that doesn't give you the
not treated
permission.
differently, not treated differently, discriminated against
Definitely
systemically in
discriminately,
every facet
systemically
of
different.
our
Yeah,
society.
most definitely.
That's all. That's
Yeah.
all I want to hear.
But does that mean that it's okay for you to talk down on somebody's body who's also slim that they
Yes.
cannot control? Can't control it, can't
Yes.
change it. But why is that? But
Why is
is
it
that to
okay?
make yourself feel better though?
Why is it okay? So I'm not going to say it's okay actually, but I'm going
Yeah.
to point to a conversation I saw about reverse racism recently, where you have Black people who tend to discuss like being denied a job because of skin color, which is something that's statistically true, or you have Black college graduates who are being denied jobs, and what's preferred over them are like high school dropout white people with felonies. Like this was an actual study. And when we're looking at systemic ways that Black people are disadvantaged, like being denied bank loans or their housing getting lower appraisals if they have pictures of Black people in the house versus white people, and
Mhm.
then white people come out and say, well, this Black man told me I smell like wet dog, or he don't like white people, or something like that. That feels incredibly insignificant. And I don't even entertain the idea when people are talking about, oh, I'm so proud of being skinny, and you can't say that anymore. I'm so afraid to say this. They don't want to hear that though. Like, I'm not about to sit here and do that
Yeah, but I
with
think
some stuff that
to
everybody wants to hear, has been hearing all year for the past 20 year, however long I've been
yeah,
alive.
but I think that to compare weight to race is something to me that should not have been compared, because to me white women have really taken that and used it to, like, since they can't be as racist as their grandmas were, they can definitely yell discrimination when it comes to their weight. But like I said, I don't think race and weight should be a comparison at all, because in some aspects you can't change the color of your skin, but you can change the size of your body. And so people are going to treat you in accordance to the size of your body, but you can never change your skin tone. So to me, those should not be equal. I should say they should not be looked at as equals, because if I'm going to celebrate your body, no matter your size, everybody should be able to celebrate their body no matter their size. It shouldn't be, well, you're skinny, I should be able to talk about you, because then to me that makes it seem like you're not really excited about your own size. Because if you love yourself being big, then you should love yourself being big, and it shouldn't matter if somebody else is small. If you love yourself being small, it shouldn't matter if somebody else is big. Now, to say that you're afraid
Do
to
you
get
think, wait,
bigger,
wait, wait, quickly, do you think the backlash that's happening online is people saying, like, what do you think people are critiquing about Slim Kim's video and the kind of surrounding, yes, I'm so tired of hiding that being skinny is, I like being skinny and stuff like that? What do you think
um,
people's critique of this is?
like I said, I think some people have taken it as an offense to their own physique, which they shouldn't. If some, like I said, if somebody else enjoys being skinny and they don't want to gain weight, then that's them. If you
But
enjoy what your body looks like, then enjoy what your body looks like. It
that
shouldn't be.
implies something about the people who aren't skinny, though.
Well, I
And I
mean,
don't think, by the way, I don't
as
think
somebody
people
who's
are.
been both, though, like I did not. You again, if you like it, you shouldn't be bothered. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't like myself at a certain weight because I didn't like the things that I could not do. But I did like myself at a certain weight because I like the things that I can do.
Well,
But if somebody else likes themselves 200 more pounds than me and they love their
I
body and what they can do,
refuse to accept the premise that people are coming online and feel personally attacked by Slim Kim saying she enjoys being skinny. People are on here talking about the fact that Slim Kim and skinny people who are repackaging and stitching her video are coming on here saying stuff like, "Oh, but if she was fat, she would be getting praise," and "Oh, if it," and skinny people, you can't say this out loud anymore. Skinny people are coming out in droves as if they are being oppressed,
well, it's not. Well,
silenced,
then
and they
I
can't
think,
say this anymore.
I think it's the word
That I think is
oppression.
what. Hmm?
I think it's the word oppression. I would say bullied more than oppression because it's not necessarily oppression because they're not, like you said, they're not being hindered from it. But it doesn't mean that it does not, people kind of negate that it does not affect someone's self esteem
It
just
doesn't.
because they're being
It
called
doesn't.
skinny,
There's no
just because
empirical.
they're being
It does.
called.
There does not seem to be any empirical evidence that this would affect someone's self-esteem in any
Where,
meaningful way.
but if all the skinny people are saying it's affecting their self esteem,
Yeah, and if I say I don't like you, Whitey, and you go out in a
but
world
again,
that
race
validates
and
you every
size
day,
should not be equated to one
and
another
yet,
because you cannot change your race,
but this is a
but you can
reality.
always
This is a
change your
reality.
size.
I can sit here and say you're a twig or you're what. I can sit here and say whatever I want to on my live stream. But when you go out in the real world, skinny people are treated with a preference everywhere.
But does that mean I deserve to be talked about with the size, though?
I didn't say you did.
So, but then should they not be upset by it?
By what?
By being somebody talking about them being small?
Again, I don't think people are upset with her saying she likes being small. Based on the stitches or duets I've seen
Yes,
as
I haven't
well
seen
on
that.
TikTok, there are people even saying that they have no issue with her saying that she's small and she enjoys being small. There are even people having meaningful commentary on the topic of how they were big and they were small, and they notice how differently you're treated when you're small and how much they latch to stuff like that and how much they like being slim because they were treated more humanely than they were when they were fat and they were treated like people instead of like a laughing stock. There are people having meaningful commentary about why they think it is okay for someone to say they like being skinny. I refuse the premise that people are being triggered by her saying she's skinny. People are upset because it is being framed as if skinny people are being attacked by the internet, and as if being skinny and being called whatever type of critique that you get is in any way equal to being fat.
Well, I wouldn't. Again, I think that's when the error is that in our life, in our societies, we do a lot of equality Olympics, like a lot of comparisons. Well, this, like if
Yeah,
my pinky got cut off for,
if I'm
huh?
fat and I receive a lower quality of health care than a skinny person systemically, yes, I'm gonna do comparison. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but that's not what
It
we're
ain't an
talking about,
Olympic or a
though. All we're
competition.
talking, but that's not what we're talking about. We're literally just talking about how people view, compliment, and talk about in terms of the standard of beauty for women, especially with Black women. The standard of beauty is not a flat chested, little booty, skinny legged woman. You need thick thighs. Thick thighs save lives. Men want women with, skin on their bones. You need to eat something. Nobody wants a skeleton. Those things are still said, and that's what I'm talking about is the beauty sin. I'm not talking about the systemic part of your weight. All I am talking about is that at the end of the day, BBLs are something that's happening all the time because the standard of beauty for Black women is to have some sort of thickness, extra meat, extra weight on your body.
You keep telling me about BBL and I brought up breast surgery as well
Well, I mean
earlier.
both.
But
Well, I
these
mean
have
usually you get both. If you could you usually get
these
both
are
done at the same time.
specifically involved with your. It doesn't matter if you're big or small if you don't have these things. These are not. This is not like a skinny versus fat thing. This seems very directly related to sexual organs or your
Well, they're
sexual
all
body
yeah.
parts, or at
I
least the
mean,
body parts that are perceived sexually. Since
yeah.
I don't believe breasts are, at least.
I don't think breasts are
So that
sexual
doesn't
either,
seem
but
like
yes.
something that's contingent on you being skinny. That seems like something that if you are a big woman with no ass, and there are some on TikTok, sorry, but yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to receive the same type of critique based
But
on your
that's
butt and your breast size, but that's based on your butt and your breast size and not whether or not you're skinny or fat.
but at the end of the day, that's what all of this has gone to is butt and breast size because you even said you have to have a little waist. So it's about your butt and your breasts and your thigh. It's not about having flabby arms. It's not about having a thick neck. It's about having titties. I mean,
It's about
breasts.
having a skinny waist.
Hmm.
It's about having a skinny
But if
waist.
I have a skinny waist and no butt and no hips, nobody's up there saying like that's the black woman for me.
You going people gonna like you better than they like a black woman. Excuse me, a big woman with the same.
If that's the case, then why are there so many? Like, I don't see the skinny. Okay, skinny is a beauty in the black community. Skinny, I don't see those skinny women being promoted. Maybe I'm missing those things. Maybe I'm missing the flat booty chicks walking around showing off their outfits and things and
I
saying like this is the standard of beauty. This is what black women should attain. This is what we should
I
look like.
think I think we have forgotten what life was like 2 years ago, 4 years ago. I think people have forgotten that Meg the Stallion's body being considered beautiful is, I feel like, recent, relatively recent, and I think it's going like Ice Spice. Ice Spice apparently they gave her the election results ahead of time, and she got a jump start on losing. And people talk about she lost everything. I haven't seen her yet, but people are saying that she
Mhm.
lost everything.
Oh, and just
I
like
believe
not a, I mean,
that that beauty standard has been what's been around for an incredibly long time, and it's only recently in specific spaces that other body types are being celebrated.
well,
I think
even
maybe
well, like
there's mhm.
mhm. I was gonna say, even with Kim Kardashian, everybody talked about once she went back over to the white side, she took all those implants out and stopped looking so quote unquote like a black woman.
Kim Kardashian did what?
She took out her hip implants, her booty. She reduced it and slimmed down her body once she was trying to gain, kind of date white dudes.
Date white people or like be popular generally?
Both, both. There was even discussions about it. How when Kim, like I said, when she was dating black guys, she had the hips, the blah blah blah, and all that stuff. But then when she was done with that, she changed her body type to appeal to a different type of male audience. Most
I
people
can't
always
speak
talk about how white males typically want a slimmer body.
I can't speak to Kim Kardashian because I don't know what she's done recently that you've
Oh,
said
it
that
wasn't
she's
recent. It,
removed.
it was like last year.
So I won't speak to her specifically, but there is
Yeah.
definitely a trend of women talking about slimming down and other stuff that I'm aligning with strong conservative values. Um, the lady that we watched called it to skinny to alt right pipeline. So I think the reality that we thought we left behind just a few short years ago is coming back strong. Um, that's what I think. Oops.
Well, I just don't think they should be, compared. And if
Mm,
somebody, I mean, like, I understand being afraid of gaining. I don't know why people shun somebody being afraid of gaining more weight if that's their body. And, like, now if they were just saying they're straight afraid of gaining more weight because it's ugly and, but like trying to down
I
somebody else's size, to me, that's not right. But if you just say for your own personal physique, you're afraid to gain weight, you're
I
afraid to
think
get to a certain size.
I think we're also downplaying or maybe forgetting what feels like extensive research that came out I can't say what year exactly, but I do believe it's been a continuous stream of research, probably since around the inception of Instagram. I don't know what year they were founded in, though. Specifically relating to girls, I'm sure boys too, but girls tend to be have a more stringent beauty standard, or have a more stringent. They aren't as allowed to deviate from the beauty standard as men are without being critiqued or facing social backlash, right? I feel like there has been extensive research around the type of content where skinny women are discussing how deathly afraid they are of gaining a single pound. If I gained weight, I would be so, I am so, I couldn't gain a single pound. What was Slim Kim saying? I think that's what she said, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love being skinny. I can't. Ooh, if I gained a pound, I'm deathly afraid of if I ever gained a pound. I love being skinny. Being skinny is great. I love it so much. Like there's a whole. I feel like there's a whole body of research around this rhetoric specifically.
So, like, what would you rather her say about her physical appearance?
I like being skinny. I like the privilege it affords me. I think it's terrible that we treat people of different body sizes poorly. We don't know if people have diabetes, or we don't know if people have illness or condition, or we don't know what's going on, or if they're suffering depression, and we should treat all people with respect regardless of their body type. But as someone who is skinny and who has seen the privilege that it brings, it is undeniable how good this feels to me. I think plenty of people have said similar stuff.
So basically, like, she can't praise her body without acknowledging that other people have different bodies.
Yep.
She just can't just straight out. She doesn't get to just be like, I like the way I look.
Nope.
Okay.
You have a agency and coercion coexist. You
Mm-hmm.
have the agency to decide if you're going to replicate, reaffirm, reproduce, and validate what's going on online. She has that decision. She does have that agency. That's from For
Mm-hmm.
Harriet, who did a let me give credit where credit is due. Um, Kimberly Nicole Foster.
Mm-hmm.
That is a direct quote from her regarding agency and coercion. Yes, you do have that responsibility, especially if you're a content creator with a bunch of little girls looking up to you and sticking their finger down their throat because they are so afraid of gaining I'm deathly afraid.
And that's the other thing I was gonna say is like, why didn't anybody ever think that Black women can have eating disorders? And what if she actually does have one? Because there have been times where people, like I said, have been deathly nobody ever said, just, like, maybe she's signaling that she might have an eating disorder. There's a lady online. Have you ever heard Eugenia Cooney before?
No, it sounds
She is
familiar.
she is a YouTuber and a TikToker. Talker.
Oh
She
yeah, I know
is,
she's really really yeah, I know who you're
yeah,
talking
she's really, really skinny. And then people, but the same people who would get mad if they were told to not eat are like telling her to eat something. That because of her size, they're concerned about her health.
about. Isn't her size directly related to mental illness
Not maybe, maybe not.
and attempting to acquiesce to a unhealthy beauty standard?
Maybe, but wouldn't that be, she's just doing, if it's health at every size, why can't she be celebrated for her? Again, she needs to eat, but then you can't tell somebody they need to not eat.
When did I say it's health at every size?
No, I'm just saying in general, like the movement is, like there's a movement of health at every size, but there's a movement
That is
celebrating
completely
bodies.
unrelated to the discussion about this beauty standard.
Yeah. But again, why is it that she is obviously, like I said, people feel free and fine to say something about her size and what she looks like. But then if somebody said something about, hey, I'm concerned for your weight on the other end, then it's a problem. How dare you say that? You don't need to mention that. Don't even because Eugenia says nothing about her size. All she does is makeup and cosplay. She doesn't talk about her weight, but everybody talks about her weight on her channel. But again, if you say why, if you do that with Amber, what's her name?
I'm trying to see where you can go and tell a fat person you need to put down the fork and you are just going to receive the entire wave of backlash, because I feel like you're gonna have people.
So
You just
no,
telling it how it is. We're just concerned about your health. I feel like maybe I live in a different reality because
no, I'm saying why should you be able to do that to somebody who is skinny? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying either one is correct. I'm
they
saying
don't have a systemic barrier. Should you do that, by the way, to that individual who's suffering from a mental illness where she's, let me pull up who I think you're talking about, by the
yeah,
way,
and that's
so
the
that
thing.
people
She is
know.
obviously suffering, and again, just like telling somebody fat to lose weight, telling her to eat a sandwich is not helping her. But people feel like, well, she's skinny. Well, then we can say these things to her.
Okay, so
I remember I was in middle school or high school, and she was,
Mm-hmm.
and here she is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. She's covered up, but I wanted people to see that she's very,
She's
very,
very
very
emaciated.
skin and
Mm-hmm.
bones.
Yeah.
She is very skin and bones.
Yeah.
Hold up. I'm trying to just pull up.
That's what I'm saying. Pisces, like,
There was a movement, by the way, because people were in her comments all the time telling her to eat stuff. There was a movement with people saying, um, telling her to eat something isn't helping and not healthy and blah blah blah.
yeah.
There is a movement that exists for skinny people also. Well, her in particular because she's deathly skinny.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll notice the body positivity movement doesn't tend to include like the people from My 1,000 Pound Life, right?
Oh, it absolutely does.
It does.
Yeah.
The body
It doesn't include
positivity movement.
Eugenia Cooney, though. It does not include Eugenia.
No, I believe it would include neither of them.
Yeah. No, actually, it does. There's been people who have done, like, oh gosh, what's her name? I can't remember her name, not to be named, but like she talked about how she used to be a plus size model, but then now she's not modeling anymore because apparently she had considered gaining too much weight. But that's another thing, though. Like, then she became not as curvy again, but in titties with a skinny waist.
This is not her. This is not her, but
What?
body positivity wasn't there for her either.
Uh-uh.
It wasn't there for Tammy and her sister.
Tammy. Yeah.
But I'm not even about to pretend like the body positivity, the fat positivity. I'm not even about to
Tess.
pretend like
Yes.
those movements are for anybody exceeding a certain amount of pounds. I'm not even about to pretend like the body positivity movement was out here. Oh my God, guys,
Oh,
no,
there is some.
stop.
There was even a she's deceased now, but there was a hair salon lady, and her big thing was for larger ladies. She had larger seats and all that stuff, and she was almost 1,000. Was she almost 1,000? I don't. She couldn't walk too much, but she passed away. But her whole thing was body positivity and promoting health at every size and all those things. So like, there are people Tammy's size because she was a
You're saying there's an individual advocating,
Well, I mean,
individual
I
this
can name
big
more of
who's
them.
advocating body positivity for
Uh,
herself.
Tovar. No, it's not just her. It's yeah. I forgot what Tovar's last name is. There's a few of them. Only because I like getting people's perspective on things.
I'm not about to sit here and pretend like Tessa Holiday is a good one. I'm not about to pretend like Tessa Holiday didn't come up here being 700 or however many pounds and say body positivity and the whole world reject that and throw that away. I'm not even about to pretend like body positivity is even that inclusive. I'm not.
Okay.
I
But
refuse. I won't do it. I won't.
so
You can't make me. I
now
won't.
is it
I
okay?
won't do it. I simply mustn't. No, I won't.
No.
I won't do
No.
it. You can't make me. No, I refuse. No, I won't do it. Yeah, I won't do it though.
No. But now if Tammy said she was afraid to go back to this weight, would that be okay?
Yeah, probably.
So is it okay if somebody's already been that way, but not okay if they've never been that way?
Huh?
She like slim, thick, whatever that lady's name. She's never been Tammy size, but she's like, I don't want to get there. Right?
No, she didn't say that about Tammy's size. She said she's afraid to gain a pound.
Yeah. But
If she, let me be clear. Do you think if she said I'm afraid to be on my 1,000 pound life and like suffering from, I don't know, gastric bypass. I don't know what that is. That just sounds like something that they would be suffering from based on me watching, Grey's Anatomy, all these other shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not even about to pretend like if Slim Kim came up here and said, I don't want to look like this, be this size, or suffering from these complications, it would be a whole. It probably wouldn't even be a conversation happening. Actually, she didn't say that. She said, "I'm sick of being a." Imagine if she came up here and said, "I'm tired of hiding this. I don't want to look like this woman or be this size." They don't let you say that anymore. I'm not even about to entertain that. And that's exactly what she did.
So
I'm so
let me.
scared to say
I
this.
know.
I know that everybody's going to hate this. I'm so scared to say this, but I love being skinny. I love being skinny so much. Being skinny is my whole identity. I'm so scared to gain any type of pound.
So what if a woman said, "I don't ever want to be skinny in my life. I don't never want to be that small. I would never want to be that skinny. I like my curves. I like the way I am."
Perfectly
And they spend
fine
most of
because
their
there's
time
not a
talking about
system
their
behind.
size.
Perfectly fine because there's not a system behind fat people oppressing skinny people. There's not. Perfectly fine and insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
So if somebody's skinny, they gotta just take it.
Yes, when you live in a world that's saying this is disgusting and ugly if you have this much pounds and you say, I'm okay with this. Yes, that's absolutely okay and completely different from someone who's being validated by the entire world saying the same thing
So
about the opposite. Yes.
so somebody should bring them down a notch.
Who?
Anybody talking about them being skinny?
No, what do you mean by bring them down a notch? I mean,
Or like be able to say something about, like, you need to eat a burger, you too skinny, nobody's gonna want you because you ain't got no butt, or blah blah. You need to eat something. I would never want to be your size. You're just too small for me. I couldn't be that skinny in my life. I
so
would feel like I was so ugly if I were ever that small. You look like a little child. That ain't even a grown woman. You need a grown
if
woman
you're
like
if
so.
you're asking me as an
Hey,
as an individual. Sorry, Jade. Also, Jade is here.
Yeah.
My apologies. You
yeah,
can
been for a minute. I get it.
Mhm.
go.
But I think I understand what you're saying. As a skinny person, I get that, especially in this
Oh,
community. It can be very it can seem oppressive, but it's really from the woman gaze, especially what you just commented on how they'll say things like yeah, you're like a child. I've only Of course you get infantilized and fetishized when it comes to men, both of those things included with each
Mhm.
other, but you really just get infantilized with other women on I wouldn't even say a larger scale, but there is still no system that backs up a thicker woman. I'm not even going to say fat because there is a middle ground. There's no system that backs up those middle grounds. There really isn't. Even the natural curvy girls compared to a skinnier girl, if you all were both in a corporate setting, I can promise you that corporate setting is going to pick that young skinny girl over that thicker, middle size, plus size girl, even if that plus size is just a size 8 or 10. That 2 or
Mhm.
6 or 4 is definitely going to get picked over it. Yeah, in her community, she may get, in the black community, let's be honest, just in the black community, she's going to get, infantilized by other women, but that's not going to stop her coin. It's not going to stop anything in her life. And I get it from that girl's perspective who Slim Kim, who came out, because that can get to you after a while because you want to get accepted, and especially as I can't speak for a darker skinned woman, but as a black woman, and I know I'm going to get dragged. But I can speak for that. You want to get accepted in and out wholly by your own group of women. And when you find that you still get accepted, but you're not going to get comforted into your walk into your adulthood as much as you would if you did look like this subset group of body type. But again, when you get into this real world outside of your own community, your currency is way more. So I think that is kind of why it's weird on why someone would say, hey, yeah, I like being skinny. Because it's just like, okay,
I
everybody likes you being skinny. That's not
I
new.
also
Like,
I
yeah, you
also
like it. Okay.
I also want to
Oh, I'm sorry. I
quickly
can't hear you. What you say?
I also want to quickly add for my audience. I don't want to scare the thin girls away. The examples that you have discussed, Indica, regarding an individual coming up to you and telling you that you're too skinny and you need to eat something, or whatever type of thing that an individual experience, I would say is bad. I'm just not going to pretend like Jay just mentioned a lot, and I'm not going to equate the two at all or pretend like they're the same struggle or treat them the same with the same level of seriousness. Like, I'm not about to look at patriarchy and say, well, women get in the club for free. So, but y'all don't want to talk about that.
All right.
Y'all don't want to talk about how women are privileged in
Well,
this
that
society.
well, women are the commodity for getting in the club for free. So that is,
Well, why
women
are
are
you
being used as
defending anybody?
products to get into the club for free.
They not ready for that though. They don't want to talk
Yeah,
about that.
I've never been to the club for free. Maybe not the club though, because in the
yeah.
club, different things happen. But I get.
In the club. Oh no, and then like I know that coming from like, and also does kind of depend on the people who you're around, because at one point there was a lot of pressure to be slimmer with certain people that I was around. I know people who were in their 50s, had 3 kids, and they were doing Pilates every day, wearing bikinis.
Whew.
And so then, and then this one, I have a cousin, she has 6 kids, all of them vaginally. She's back down to her pre-baby weight, right? I know people who've had 3, 4 kids, and still, like I said, wearing bikinis, doing Pilates, working out and stuff. And so then if you're around people who kind of are like that, in a sense, some people may feel that more pressure and some people may not. But
I'm
I
look.
still don't like comparing, because like I said, I can never I can gain 100 pounds and I can lose 100 pounds, but I can never change my skin color. So I just don't like those, because to me, white people have used their weight as a way to jump on the oppression bag. Not to say that their weight doesn't hinder them, but their weight does not hinder them like a black woman's weight would.
Well, we believe in intersectionality, so we do believe that white people being fat can cause them to be discriminated or poor or
Well, yeah,
whatever, blah blah blah. It's just not going to be at the same effect that a black person experiencing this. I think we can give people that. We can give people their oppression and acknowledge where they're privileged
yeah.
also.
Now,
But I
also, are we
understand that
giving
white
meaning?
people will
Hold on.
use whatever to. I understand.
Yeah, but also, are we giving meaning to what she means when she says she doesn't want to? Like, I know why I don't want to gain any more weight again, and it's not necessarily about looks. I looked better. I was more attractive. I've been even told by men, if you gain more weight, you'd be more sexy and all that stuff. But I didn't like the way I felt. But I might say I don't want to gain any more weight, and somebody might look at me and say, "You're just saying that because," I was like, "No, I actually was cuter back when I had more weight, but I didn't like, my health was affected, so I had to lose the weight." So
Indica, I
is she straight up saying that she doesn't want to gain weight because she says fat is ugly, or she's saying, like, are we just inserting we're filling in the sentence for her? Because I don't know her like that.
hey Indica,
Hey,
I got a question. Have you seen The Wicked?
Wicked, 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 wicked.
I started seeing some of it and then I fell asleep last night.
Have you ever seen the play or heard
No,
of it?
I haven't
Wait,
seen the
you
play,
went
but
to
I've heard of the
did you
play.
watch it in the movies, or like did you buy like the movie?
Excuse me. Concern left because y'all wouldn't let her talk.
Cause sir, you gotta interrupt like me. I was over here for 2 hours. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna go on
I
mute.
know you.
Perhaps I
I
will.
was. Listen.
Before y'all continue on the Wicked, perhaps I will extend an apology to my skinny audience, and maybe I should have started with, I don't think it's okay for an individual to say, I was too busy roasting. I was too busy in my own ego to be kind. Perhaps I should have been kind and said an individual should not be talked about that way, even if I don't think they are comparable.
Well,
Uh,
Patty, as a person, I feel very offended because you also didn't acknowledge me. Now I'm playing. I'm playing.
Jay, we acknowledge your skinniness. We know in this world, so few
Thank
people praise skinniness in this
And
world.
I
And
would not have it another pound.
I'm
I
talking
drink
about
protein, not
who
even. I can't.
Invincible just dropping bangers in the. But we did watch Wicked last night. And Ariana Grande was just she just broke out singing, and that's when I found out it was a musical. I was like, oh, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay,
I didn't stay awake for all
but
of it.
it was great.
So I don't know what else
Well,
happened.
I mentioned it because she did a good job at putting her stance down without, necessarily saying it was to tear somebody else down or to elevate herself. She just made sure that she knew she was like, made sure that you knew that she liked the way she was and this is the way she is. And those who aren't, they just die alone. I mean, they are the wicked, and what happens to them happens to them. The cause that you fall for is good, but I think it really plays a part into this where society, like not even in America, but just as a whole around the world, your weight has always, especially in the modern day, has always been commodity, has always been your way of in the modern world again, elevation
Mhm.
and even economic elevation. But and to say it is kind of just like a rub in the face because up until I would say until the 2010s, and you even know about Nicki Minaj getting dragged in the mud, and Beyonce definitely had surgery to get down after she had twins and busted up and her
Mhm.
husband cheated on her. That it is like to be skinny has a higher social economic standing with it. That's just how it is. And that's how it's always been in the modern world, in the 21st century at least. And to say it, I see why that would trigger because a lot of people who are not just fat, because to say that, okay, if you're not skinny, you're fat is playing in that role because with that middle ground that just gets, called out on a normal level, even if you're in a job and
Mhm.
you're not necessarily skinny or the ideal shape of what it is to be skinny, regardless of what it is in the Black community, you are giving questions that are different than when you are skinny. Like, are you pregnant? Do you have children? Or these, what's the specific, salary you're trying to get, or just any other additional questions with things that should not or would not be said. And as somebody who has been, a little on the both side, I would say slim thick in this community, that's most with depression
Mhm.
and trauma, you do get questioned and treated differently, and you do get approached differently. But I do see
Mhm.
why people on the skinnier of that late Slim Kim came out, because even as a skinny girl, you in this community, in the Black community, look, you can be skinny as Slim Kim and get cheated on for a fat white girl. They do not care. They do not care.
Sure.
You can get cheated on for a thick girl. You can get thrown to the mud and kicked aside for whoever, because it doesn't really matter. But to think, I feel like personally, whenever I put down the world standards and everything around, especially in this country, and then when I reduce it to this community, I've already lost the game when it comes to making sense, because we don't make sense over here. And I think that's what really drove her to say that, because even as a skinny girl, you have your insecurities. So yes, say it. But I mean, it does also socially elevate her, because look at all this attention. Like, someone
Yeah.
is going to say something to defend that skinny girl. Nobody's going to say anything. You can check on any of the girls who are fat content creators who, look at what I eat in a day as a fat girl. I know that's a bad word to say, and I'm just saying, you already know what I mean. They get talked to like ish like all the time. They get hate comments and everything. This girl is having people defend her even if they don't look like her. That's how much that social currency weighs, and that's how much it
Mhm.
matters, and that's how much is going to elevate her life, even if she
Yeah.
never made a video about it before.
Mhm.
That is a thing. And yeah, I see why it offends normal, like, other people, because I had to realize my personal self, like, you're close to having an eating disorder. Like the doctor will say it too. Your blood sugar is low. You
Mhm.
do need to eat. And I know you hear that when we go home for Thanksgiving. Yeah, you need to eat something. But like, I think this is why I like listening to people like Yanni and stuff, because your health matters more. But when your health, you prioritize your health, you don't make content like that. You don't say things like that. When you prioritize health and your actual goal and your content and just you being yourself, and it's a healthy version of you, you don't get on the internet and say anything like that. Like, the world's
And
biggest platform, nobody cares. Like,
yeah,
you gonna have your content regardless.
No, and that's what I guess kind of that's what I'm getting like I said, no matter what the size of the woman is, I don't think I shouldn't say anything about a fat woman to boost my ego, and a fat woman shouldn't say something about being skinny to boost their ego. Like, to me, if we're really trying to get to
But
the
to
point of
say
saying
that a
that,
fat woman or a bigger woman, I would say a bigger or a thick medium woman, any woman who isn't skinny, to say something that would boost their confidence and women who look like
no,
them, their
I mean
confidence
say something
would
against a
matter
skinny woman.
because
That's what I'm saying. Like, I shouldn't have to say something derogatory. We shouldn't have to say something derogatory about either one of our weight to boost each other up. We should just
but
boost
that's
each
the
other
thing,
up.
nobody is. But that's the thing, nobody is. She's not saying she hates fat women. She's just saying I like being skinny. And because she lives in a society, a patriarchal society that has always elevated skinniness to the point where people are dying, are getting disorders just to be like that, opposed to people who come online and say, "Hey, this is what I eat in a day, and I like that, and this is what the size it gives me." I think that's completely different. If a person like pedestalizes their skinniness and not neither one of these parties are saying anything about each other. Like, no fat
Mm.
girl is online saying anything about skinny girls, and skinny girls aren't online saying things about fat girls. Yeah, the whole thick thing was a trend, but let's be honest. Like, if a girl says that, it's a completely different response because she lives in a completely different world and social society than the girl
Mm-hmm.
who is bigger and thicker. So it carries much different weight, and it does matter and mean more because you do have little girls over here only eating a bag of chips for breakfast and dinner, and that's it, or a Caesar salad just so they can be in this skinniness, opposed to a girl who probably just eats her cultural foods or just lives her dang on life, and she's
But that's
thicker.
the other
She's
thing
working
though. Like, we never
like
talk about that other part. Then the girl who's eating her cultural foods and she's eating two pork chops, three servings of mashed potatoes. All the vegetables
why would
have
that be her
butter in it.
cultural food?
Yeah.
I didn't specify cultural food. No, I didn't specify a cultural food, and that wouldn't be the only cultural food or protein and carbs that will give you that type of shape as
I
a
know,
not
but
again,
let's
we're
be
thinking
real.
black and
Our
white, not
cultural food, people be like, "Why you eating a salad?" You know what I'm saying? And fresh cucumber. Even though gardening is very, very much so ingrained in our culture, people don't focus on the fact that gardening is ingrained in our culture. We talk about how,
they do
again,
though, they do though. But if you think about
chitlins,
just pork chops and potatoes and chitlins,
chitlins,
we're not
pork
talking about
chops, sweet
southern
potato
food.
pie,
You have
macaroni and
people.
cheese.
No,
Greens,
I think
beans,
you're looking
potatoes,
again black and
tomatoes.
white. And I'm not saying like black and white is in like your culture is black and white. You have a lot of
Mm.
Caribbean and African people who look different than the surface level of their early ancestors in America's food. And they're actually eating things like rice with plantain and jollof and
Yeah,
things
because
that
that's
have
their
natural
culture,
peppers
though.
and the
That's because that's their
proteins. But
cultural
that's a lot
food.
of
That's not
African
black.
and
That's not
Caribbean.
American cultural food, though. Our American culture food
What do
is
you
not
mean by American
plantains.
culture?
Plantains and
Well,
rice is
American
not.
culture food isn't limited to slavery.
Yeah,
You
and
have the Caribbeans, which is technically
I don't know, we're not eating
like
Caribbean food at
you
the
have
soul food
people
restaurant.
who are eating different cultural foods that are black, such as it's rice again, like rice, like what plantain. That's not like you don't have to get outside of America for that to be your cultural foods. The Americas is a melting pot,
I'm talking about soul
and
food.
even if you eat
Black
that, you can
people
eat that
soul
in.
food.
Not all black people eat soul food.
I know, but I'm talking about if you say cultural food, that is the food of our culture. You know what I'm
You're
saying? Like how
saying are you
plantains and rice are the food of Caribbean culture. Mac and cheese,
and even African
chitlins,
culture. So is
bacon.
African culture limited once they got to Americas and was on the slave ship? Did we just like
I am
erase
not
that, or
talking
could we
about. I'm talking
possibly
about
go to
today in
college and learn
2024.
that that is our culture, or even have people who remember that, or just go online,
Okay.
or just crave it? Like, yeah. So when we think about black people, we can't just keep thinking about soul food and just junk food. We can't do that. That is very disingenuous and it is
Well,
not benefiting us at all. But
but I
to
mean, are we
think,
really going to act like we really going to act like people had plantains and rice for Thanksgiving, or did they have macaroni and cheese? Did they have mashed potatoes with butter in it? Did they have ham? Did they have chitlins? Like, are we really going to act like that? That's not what we eat when we gather together as families. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but it's like if we can't act like that's not what.
I'm gonna go ahead and act like that. There was a few different things on my table because we utilized our free access to the internet, and we did history research. We're educated. I'm not even gonna say that's not educated for people who don't, but it's just like there are healthy options. There are healthier options than just eating and like not even that, just slapping things in butter. There are healthier options to our old Southern foods that we exercise every single day, especially if you go inside of a black bookstore. There are vegan and healthy options, not just vegan, because I don't want you to just harbor on that. There are healthy options to our cultural foods that people utilize every day because people are tired of going out the same way that we were going out back 50, 60 years ago. But even if even if you do eat things in that way, there is portion controls. There are other things you can do to incorporate instead of just eating this and sitting down and watching TV. You can do a number of things and still have this in your culture, and you won't be necessarily fat, but you will be in some way thick and curvy. And even though you aren't considered fat and you are not obese by any means, you will still get treated differently in this society, in the job market, and culturally than people who are skinny. And we know that. We know that definitely. Like,
Hey guys,
definitely 100%.
hey
Yeah, I
guys,
know
I
that. Like,
checked out for
I
like
agree.
Exactly. All Southern black foods that stemmed from slavery and Jim Crow.
I missed it. All Southern black foods or what? I missed it.
I'm
Did
so
she go away?
I'm muted by accident. I have no idea how to unmute. I can
Well, I
only
got you muted on purpose, so I just like let you mute me, and I was like, okay, I guess I was just going on tangent, but it did hurt me.
okay. It
Like,
muted and then unmuted and then muted and unmuted. I apologize.
no, you mute.
But
Yeah, I think you my mistake. Yeah.
I checked out briefly. Are you guys doing food racism?
I don't know
It
what is
seems
food
like
racism.
it seems like
I don't
America is
know.
kind of doing food racism a little bit because when you said that black people food, our culture food is just like pork chops, mashed potatoes, and gravy, chitlins, that is literally the most unhealthy
But
version
is it?
of our food,
But
as
am I
you
lying?
said.
So chitlins are not a black culture food. Are you telling me that
I
chitlins
have
are not a part of
chitlins
our
on my
our
plate.
culture?
I would okay, just because it's a part of your culture does not mean you have to include it on your table.
Where did
If
I
your
say
family
that you had
doesn't
to
like
include
that
it on your
cultural
table,
food,
though? That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get to that point. I never said you had to include it on your table. I'm just listing the things, and you already gave the negative to it. I'm just listing the things that we as a culture eat. And yes,
well,
we
even
do
if
need
you
to
do eat
acknowledge,
those
hold on,
things, you
we
can't
do need
eat
to
those
acknowledge
in
that,
portion.
like,
Can
okay,
you
are
not
the
eat
people,
those things in healthy portions that do not get you fat, as you said? Can you prepare those things in healthier ways than, as you said, smothering them in gravy and butter? Yes,
you
you
can.
definitely
You
can.
absolutely can.
Exactly,
That's my
but you did
point.
not
I'm
acknowledge that
agreeing.
when you said your points. You said, okay, yeah, these are people who are going to eat our cultural foods, are slapping this in butter, eating several pork chops too, as you said, with chitterlings and gravy. You don't have to do all of that. In our culture, I would venture off to say, is our modern culture of that, or modernized versions of that, do not include all of that. I would venture off to
You
say
don't put ham in,
our
you don't
modern
put no
versions
pork in
do
your
not include.
greens.
All
You
right,
make
guys.
you don't put pork.
You
So
guys are gonna have
no,
to.
I'm
You
just
guys are
like, no,
gonna
we're
have to.
agreeing with each other. You know what I'm saying? We're agreeing with each other. I just mentioned what types of food that we tend to eat, and you're telling me that our culture does not tend to eat these foods. I didn't say anything about portion size. I just said that these are the things that we tend to
Well, if
eat.
you're saying tend to eat, I would, if you said tend to eat, that would be completely different than you only listing off a holiday or two that happen out throughout the year. I would not say
But
that a black person, a modern day black woman, I do not think that she is eating pork chops, mashed potatoes, collard greens with pork in it every single day. I do not think that. Smothered in gravy, I do not think that. And as a black woman, I can positively say, no, we are not doing that every single day. And we
no,
are
it's
still thick. And not the type of thick that's fat, the type of unconditional skinny thick.
So
Okay.
I have no idea. I actually have no idea.
I don't either. I didn't know. I don't know if
I'm very confused.
I got
I'm trying to figure out what I missed.
about our food as first was like, why is it hard for people to say that there is foods in our culture that are not good for us? Why is it hard
Uh,
for us to
you
say
mean
that
you
there
mean
are
like
things
the
like
my
without having to, like it doesn't make us like these horrible people just to
so
say that people smother things in butter? Like that's just
so
an acknowledgement
so
of
my
that's what we
knowledge
Nobody
of
do.
tell you that. Nobody
Hmm?
my knowledge of African American food culture leads me to believe, my knowledge is limited by the way, that generally our diet is descended from slavery. Regarding, y'all brought up chitlins and pork chop and all sorts of things. I think the diet was formed by slavery, if I remember correctly, and people eating
Yeah.
what they could, which tended to be unhealthy waste. Uh, Jay didn't have time for me, so never mind, y'all. I
That's
apologize
okay.
for being lame. Too lame for people to stay up and listen to my whole explanation. Promise not to do it again. Indica, I will give you 30 seconds. Final thoughts.
Um.
You may not say anything about Jade since she dropped down and can't defend herself.
Oh no, I was agreeing with her. That's what I said. I was like, I wasn't even. I don't. Um. If you truly like who you are, it shouldn't matter what anybody else has to say about their body.
All right. Thank you. And have a good. Oh, what are you thankful for?
Health. I'm thankful for health because yeah, that's about it. Because without it, you really don't have anything.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
And have a good night.
Good night.
I am an hour past my scheduled time. Um, it's not my bedtime, but it's close. All right, where were we? In conclusion, let me try to have some sort of cohesive thought. In conclusion, skinny people, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for the hey guys, I'm tired of hiding this, but I like being skinny. I'm not about to do this. I don't like people playing in my face. I don't like that. I'm not about to sit here and dig up research and cover concepts that we have already covered in 2012 just to prove something that we already knew. Skinny people are much better liked than fat people. And it isn't even close. Surprise. Please stop playing in my face. I want you to ask yourself what people are talking about when they say they like big or thick, or are they talking about a round woman, or are they talking about an hourglass, someone who is skinny in the middle, which mean your breast and butt can be big because those are the parts of you that I can sexualize, but your waist needs to be snatched and skinny. The waist needs to be skin. I want you to ask yourselves, are young girls self-deleting themselves because they're not big enough? Because you already know there's research out there about the opposite. You already know that there's research about girls starving themselves so they could look like Kim Kardashian. And I want my cheek fat gone. I want my neck fat gone. Has no one heard of the BBL? Didn't we discuss that briefly on here? Before it was the BBL, by the way, it was the Brazilian butt lift. Do y'all remember that? It was so many people dying to this procedure, sucking the fat out of their sides to put it in their butt. They had to change the name to BBL just so people would feel okay about getting it again. I don't think y'all remember people was dying, and this was like the most dangerous. the most dangerous surgery in the country, or am I tripping? People was going to Mexico to get it. They probably still are, but it's safer today because I seen some people on the flight with doing the thing where they backwards with the butt up. But anyway, yeah, if I go and look up plastic surgery deaths, do you think I'm going to find um, more people died from liposuction, or do you think I'm going to find that there are so many people just dying from this procedure where you just take a bunch of fat and put it in your body because you want to get big? Stop playing in my face. It's too late at night. Is there research out there showing teen girls who use social media start having eating disorders to put their finger down their throat to throw up because they want to look like those edited pictures on Instagram where they waist don't exist? Yes, there's research out there. Is there research showing teen girls trying to gain as much weight as possible because they saw Lizzo being celebrated one time 3 years ago on TikTok? Nope. That research does not exist. I'm not about to go over 2012 research with y'all. I'm not. I'm tired of hiding this, but I don't care if I get canceled. I'm skinny, and I'm tired of hiding that I like being skinny, and I hate fat. I hate being fat. Oh, you are in real danger if you come online and say you don't like being fat and you think skinny is better and you want to be skinny and you hate being fat. Oh, they're not gonna like that. Oh, they don't let you say that online anymore. Person saying exactly that online. Hey guys, I know this is a hot take, a pretty controversial opinion, but I don't like fat people and I think they're unhealthy and gross. Oh my God, you don't want to say that out loud. You know how much we never see anything on social media about that. Be careful before you say these new, fresh opinions out loud, these groundbreaking and thought-provoking opinions that you just use Socrates level of thinking. I might have to ponder and pontificate on these profound ideas that I saw presented about body weight on TikTok. I like being skinny. I would die if I gained another pound, and I'm sick of hiding it. Stop lying in my face. Just say you don't like fat people and be done with it. Stop playing in my face. Skinny people are just as discriminated against, and they said I need to eat something and get out of my face. Stop lying to me. I hate that. So stop lying to my face. Do you see who your future president is? Why are you still pretending like you have to lie about what you really think? Just say it and be done with it so we can move on about our day, because you're not telling us anything we didn't already know. So, in conclusion, being talked about for being skinny, real. Being made fun of for being skinny, real. But don't sit in my face and try and even remotely pretend that it's anywhere close to fat phobia that is ingrained in our society. And before you skinny people comment on my video, please make sure to check your profile picture, because I certainly will be. And you could save yourself a lot of embarrassment by looking in the mirror and saying, am I skinny? And am I really the type of skinny that they're talking about? Because I saw all types of people on TikTok just bigger than me. Just, I stand with SlimKim. I'm tired of hiding that I like being skinny. And I'm wondering, are they practicing for the future? Or I don't know if they woke up in Freaky Friday and they just in somebody else's body and they just don't know it. But I feel like if y'all are going to say something in my comment section, I will be checking. So delete your profile picture or something, because I have not seen someone who is the size that they're talking about come in defense, which is weird. So That's all. Actually, I'll play the clip from For Harriet as well, and we can end on that. I was watching her video, but I didn't finish it. I thought I could do the hour-long video. I can't. I don't know why I can watch like 3-hour live streams, but I can't watch videos. I'm something's wrong with me. Okay, I think it was at the 43-minute mark. 45.
You just choose somebody to be disciplined, to be penalized. And that's often what happens in the conversation about fat phobia. But this is the crazy thing. And this is another reason why I just don't have it for people. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to go over the whole of this story again, but I'll just touch on it. Not too long ago, I was so shocked and horrified to overhear a woman who I would later find out was a fat, black, middle-aged woman sniggling and giggling, kikiing on a Manosphere YouTube channel that has been subsequently deleted, body shaming me. I could not fucking believe that shit.
I just want to pause and say I stand with Kim here again. I feel like you should check your profile. She went and checked. It was people on a video talking about her and how she looks. And she went and checked the people who was a keying, and she looked at their profile picture and said, wait, why are you laughing? Have y'all ever been in the group and I'm roasting somebody, this person's getting roasted, and you this and that, and that's why your lip touching your nose, touching your eyes, and you over here just laughing, and they turn at you and say, why are you laughing? You just know something's about to come. I just want to make y'all aware. That's all.
And it's not, I wasn't horrified. If you remember this saga, I wasn't horrified just because of the body shaming. I was horrified by who was doing it. I could not understand why somebody who would be the target of that violence, the target of that shame and stigma, would want to participate in that. I had to come to terms with the fact.
Girl, what's going on in her chat? As a 98-pound woman, I can see why she may have wanted to say it, but it's probably, why y'all do this? Why y'all, as a skinny, petite woman with a fat ass, I just want to say that I understand what SlimKim was saying, but I feel like her approach was bad. Why y'all, why? Why y'all like this? Why? Sorry, I just noticed her comment section. My face is covering it, but
that most people do not view the world through hypocrisy and not hypocrisy. They view the world through power and not power, and people want to be on the side of power no matter what. I'm doing the weave. I'm about to bring it back around. What is so fascinating about these conversations about fat phobia and thin and whatever is when you look on SlimKim's comments, you see people say, yeah, girl, you're right. Or there's the TikToks that are from the...
I don't think we're actually at the part that I wanted to show you guys, but I'll just let it play.
Yeah, I love being thin girls. There's also the TikTok responses from the girls that are like, oh yeah, I used to be thin. I miss being thin. I think about it all the time. She's right. I've been fat and I've been thin. Being thin is so much better. I wish I was thin again. And you look, the comments, girl, you didn't say nothing wrong. And because I can do math, there's a 100% chance that a good number of those comments are from people who would be in clinical settings described as overweight or obese. The New York Times last week or the week before, they did a write-up of a recent study from a research group called The Lancet. The headline was 75% of US adults are clinically overweight or obese.
That can't be SlimKim's comment section. That must be the 25%. They must all be there. It has to be. It has to be. Mind you, Slim Kim is not the only person being addressed, by the way. If it's not evident, there's more than just Slim Kim's video. There's also a wide body of content coming out with people who believe they are skinny, believe they are the skinny in question. I'll say that. I won't comment on their size. I refuse. But also like co-signing and elaborating further and saying some stuff that's what people would call fat phobic.
75%.
She's all type of confused. I am too. I'm trying to see what was I thought there was like I wanted to hear her quote. She said it so succulently.
It's an enormous privilege in my adult life. Stop using fat women to work through your fucking childhood traumas. Stop doing that. You heard Monique say skinny bitches are evil in 1998 and you haven't let it go.
Thank you. Thank you. In 1998. Well, I can't find the exact timestamp, but I'm pretty sure she was the one who said that agency and coercion coexist, and you have the agency to decide if you're going to replicate, reaffirm, reproduce, and validate what she calls violence. Nara Smith, trad wife content, for example. I love my small, thin waist. Agency and coercion coexist. You have the agency to decide if you're going to replicate, reaffirm, reproduce, and validate the violence. Slim Kim chose to replicate, reaffirm, and reproduce it, even if she didn't directly attack someone. That's all. That's it. You guys have a good night. I'll give you an outro. Yeah, I'll give you guys an outro.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Been swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Swallowed up. Swallowed. Been swallowed up. Swallowed.
How could I forget Wicked? The thing that we were supposed to briefly discuss. So spoiler, I think it was a great movie. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. It's a basic movie. Big bad evil person is evil for being evil, not necessarily. It's so never mind. Let me save it for the critique tomorrow. Not a critique, but the review tomorrow. And if you want to see the rest, maybe we can do another. We can watch again in the Discord. Let me see. Not my old battle buddies DM'd. Perhaps we can. So I'll set up the Discord, and I don't know if y'all want to start from the middle. Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, I won't spoil. I won't. Just know that this is definitely Joker for Black women, I feel like. Okay, that's all. See you guys then.